Next, we would like to invite Madam Agnes Sita Kijo, Director General of Tanzania Food and Drug Administration, to give a speech on Tanzania's guidelines and procedures for registering and establishing the pharmaceutical industry. Thank you.
Hello, everyone. Ni hao. It is a great pleasure to stand before you, and just after my two brothers from TIC and MSD has told you about the investment opportunities, but also the market opportunity that's available, ready market available through the MSD, I would take you through the regulatory requirements, because as much as we are encouraging investment, but there is also an element of overseeing quality and safety of products, and that's very important. And as was mentioned by the Honorable Minister for Health in the morning, that Tfda has transformed from a very rigid kind of, regulatory authority to a very facilitative institution. And so I am going to demonstrate this on my presentation. And mine is very easy to take you through the procedures for registration of products and on how you can establish pharmaceutical industries in Tanzania in line with what my brother from TAC has presented. This is the outline. I'm not going to take you through the outline, but I think most important is what is contained in the presentation. To give you a brief about Tfda, Tfda is a government institution. It's under the Ministry of Health, Community Development, Gender, Elderly and Children, established in July 2003, and looks after quality and safety of these products. Medicine into two categories. You have veterinary medicines, and then you have human medicines, which includes also biologicals and herbal medicines. Then you have a category of devices, which also includes medical devices and in vitro diagnostics. Another group of product that is overseen by Tfda is cosmetics, antiseptics and disinfectants. But then we have a huge chunk of food and food supplement. It's similar to CFDA of China, so we do a similar work. A little bit about Tfda. I'm not going to go through the mission and vision. It's vividly displayed there, but only to mention a few things about this highly reputable institution, that Tfda is WHO pre-qualified in the laboratory for testing medicine and cosmetics. But then we are ISO 17025 2005 certified on microbiology analysis, but also on food analysis. We are also ISO 9001 2015 certified. We have been implementing quality management systems way back, since way back in 2007. And so we have a lot of discipline in terms of aligning ourselves with the laws, regulations, procedures, and of course SOPs. And so some of the major milestones that happened recently, we had applied for an assessment through the WHO. So in May 2018, we were assessed by WHO, and we are aspiring to be announced as maturity level 3, which is going to be the first regulatory authority to reach that level in Africa, but among the very, very few in the world. And so you should be able to trust the services and the products that are coming from this very reputable institution that, yes, that I'm honored to lead with the rest of the team. Some of the services that Tfda do offer, and I believe majority of the audience here are interested in what Tfda does because of the sector that you are investing in. And so we have something called product evaluation and registration. This is a very familiar term. It's a condition for market authorization, and so before you can sell your products in the country, you have to go through the product evaluation. And I'll have also time to describe a little bit on the procedure for registering products in Tanzania. We have premise registration and licensing, where dealers for these products, because they are highly regulated, and premises have to be registered and get licensed. The maximum time that we take for registering a premise is 10 days, but I know I have instructions from Honorable Minister that we reduce to lesser days, and we will abide to that. There is an element of inspection and surveillance. Of course, that's where good manufacturing practice falls into, but also a normal surveillance in the shops, just to make sure that the premises continues to abide to standards. And then there is a major element also on the import-export. Before any product is being imported into the country, they have to get a permit. And of course, for products that have been registered, application is online, and so it is easy, to carry business with Tfda, because at the comfort of your office, you can be able to apply for import or export of these products. But then we have another important element on market surveillance. This is a routine sample collection. We do collect samples from the market and get them tested, just to ensure that they continue to maintain standards as they were registered. And then the issue of laboratory analysis that I've mentioned, we are WHO pre-qualified lab. I think a third in Africa. We have about 3 regulatory authorities labs that have WHO pre-qualified, and we're among them. And there is an issue of control of product promotion and advertising, but also public education. So these are the main functions for Tfda. We have about 7 zone offices around the country. I didn't come with a map to indicate where they are located, but they are available to provide these services on behalf of the headquarters. This one has been talked about by my brother from TIC, so I'm not going to talk about that one, but this, just to indicate that, and as mentioned by DG from MSD, that our products are mainly imported. We're talking about 94% of products are imported. We have about approximately 4,000 brands that have been registered in the country. Registration of products is online, and the list of registered products is automatically updated on our website. So if a product is registered today, then you should be able to have it already on Tfda website. It updates automatically. And so 400,000 brands of products registered. And of course, among these products, we have products that are coming from China. Domestic production, ignore the FOB, but it is valued at $39.5 million US dollars. But imported medicine, US dollars 704 billion. And Chinese products accounts for about 25% of the 704 billion. And of course, domestic production is valued at around 5%, and this is based on the 2017 data. I also wanted to sort of support what my brother from MSD has just presented in terms of the products that are highly imported in the country. If you look at the antibiotics, the antibiotics is 18.9, so it really tallies with what my brother has just presented, and then you'll have another bigger group of products that is being imported into the country or registered is on the gastrointestinal, genitourinary, and reproductive medicines. But then you have 10.5% on cardiovascular medications, analgesics, antipyretics, and the muscle relaxants, and the rest of the products as are indicated. So one of the products, leading products for registration or product of interest is on the antibiotics. And now going to the core of the presentation is on the procedures for establishing a manufacturing facility in Tanzania. This has also been highlighted, I think half of it by my colleague from TIC. you would definitely need to have your company registered through this government agency called BRELA, Business Registration and Licensing Agency. But then you have to go through NEMKI for them to be able to assess site suitability in terms of environment, and of course the TIC, which coordinates all the rest of the institutions as presented by my colleague from TIC. But if you go back now to Tfda, and I want now to take you through the processes on how one can apply to Tfda to get the product registered, but also manufacturing facility licensed. An applicant would have to submit a drawing to Tfda together with the evidences supporting documents from BRELA and NEMKI. And when we receive these documents and the proposed layout of the facility, we would scrutinize, consult with the applicant, and advise them on what it is that they should change on the drawing. And after the agreement, we would allow them to continue with construction. So it is very facilitative in terms of providing sort of free consultation. Because if you go to other countries, this is not free of charge. If you want consultation, they will direct you to go to a consultancy, and you'll have to pay a lot of money for this kind of consultation. But for Tanzania, Tfda has built expertise in this area for many years. We are even supporting WHO in making decision-making for some of the processes that I'm mentioning here. And so there is a lot of expertise in terms of explaining what kind of layout relates to what kind of products, and that after Tfda has approved, construction and equipment installation will continue under a close follow-up of Tfda, and then we'll carry out a GMP inspection and certify the manufacturing facility. After we have certified the manufacturing facility, we would allow production of trial batches, 3 trial batches, and these, out of the 3 trial batches, you'll get samples to submit together with together with the fee, sorry. So it's a sample, 3 samples, fee plus the dossier information. So the 3 will be evaluated, and then I wanted also to slightly, explain a little bit further on this blue drawing that we have removed almost every fee that was charged before, change of policy and transformation of Tfda. And so for domestic manufacturing facilities, you'll only have to pay about $500 for a product, but the rest, and this, of course, the $500 is for analysis, it caters for analysis fee and other administrative charges, but you will not pay for analysis fee. Analysis fee will be taken care by Tfda. Inspection fee will be taken care by Tfda. And this is specifically for investors who wants to put up a pharmaceutical manufacturing facility or medical device manufacturing facility. And so after evaluation of the dossier, then the product gets registered. I will explain further on my next slide on the timelines along these processes, and especially on dossier evaluation and product registration. So this is an illustration, and I've put it in a very colored slide, so you can pay attention. And this big arrow demarcates the domestic products versus the foreign products. The foreign products is on blue, and the domestic products on orange. So registration fee for domestically manufactured products is $500, as I've mentioned. And we deliberate fast-track assessment of the dossiers that are coming from the domestic manufacturer, and there is no cost involved. But I wanted also to indicate the difference between the domestically manufactured products and the imported products. When a product is manufactured overseas and it is applied for fast tracking, there is a cost. It costs about $4,000 to go for fast tracking. But for domestically manufactured products, there is no cost involved at all. And of course, other charges such as variation and alterations is zero. but also the timeline. Look at the timeline for registration of domestically manufactured products. We have reduced the registration time to 60 days. We have now gone to 60 days. I know there is a lot of concerns from most of the applicants in terms of the registration time for imported products, because it goes up to, say, 200 days. But we have also been asked by the Honorable Minister that we should also look into this so that the registration time is also reduced, and we are looking at going down to 120 days. So after some time, the registration time, which I know is a major concern for most of the people who are in this room, that we are also reviewing these timelines to take it down to 120 days. But if I can compare, for example, with my colleagues from the neighboring countries, I know Kenya has gone to 6 months. We are also going to 6 months. Uganda is 1 year. So Uganda, they're still in 1 year, but we are going down. So the timelines are between 6, to 1 year for majority of the regulators. So this is the advantage of having a manufacturing facility established within the country, because we have taken out almost all fees. We are still having the $500 fast tracking of the medicine registration, and the products can get registered within 2 months. Of course, I've already explained the majority of this. Time has been reduced from 6 to 4 months. There is no GMP fee. There is no importation fee, and I think this was mentioned also by Honorable Minister. No importation fee, and some of the fees have been chunked out. For example, from raw materials which are imported, we don't charge any fee. On packaging and machineries, it is not charged, and so feel free to request for importation once you have already decided to put or to build a pharmaceutical manufacturing facility. Of course, reduced registration fees, I've mentioned this already. Staff training. This is one of the elements also that I wanted to emphasize that Tfda does. And I wish TPMA was here to witness this, because we have been providing free training to technical personnel from the local pharmaceutical manufacturing, again, free of charge. So we would call a certain pharmaceutical manufacturer, discuss with them on the limitation in terms of expertise, and advise them and train them on the areas of weakness. And this has been very, very successful in terms of capacity building to technical staff in some of the domestic manufacturers. But we have also advantage of regular meetings. We are able to meet with the domestic manufacturers at least every quarter or twice a year. We would meet with the local manufacturers and discuss some of the challenges that they face. But also there is an issue of technical support. I've already mentioned on the technical support that we provide on the drawings, but also on the formulation as well. We provide free technical support. So these are some of the advantages that one would get when decided to, establish a domestic manufacturing facility in Tanzania as far as Tfda is concerned. This one has been explained by my brother, but I also wanted to highlight a little bit on opportunities, and I'm almost going to the end of my presentation. But I wanted to mention a few other opportunities that are out there for consideration. We have few narrow range of generic products registered, and so there is room for manufacturers or for investors to invest on generic products manufacturing. We don't have sterile products manufacturing plant at the moment in Tanzania, and so this is another area of opportunity that you can, see if you can put up a sterile production manufacturing plants. There's no manufacturer of ARVs at the moment, or anti-TB, or anti-cancer, or cardiovascular medicine. So when you compare to the histogram that I've indicated in this category of group, but all of the products are imported into the country. And so I would also encourage for potential investors or people who are interested to invest to, think of this. There's no API manufacturing facility in Tanzania. We would appreciate if we could have people, interested to invest in one. Very few packaging materials manufacturing facilities, and the supply is not very reliable. There's no excipient manufacturing facility as well. Just to continue with the opportunities, and I forgot to put it on my slide, but there is a recently signed regulation called Orphan Medicine Regulation. The Orphan Medicine Regulation is giving incentive to manufacturers to register some of the products which are used in a very small population. And we have removed all the fees. It's literally free. So we are encouraging also investors to talk to us maybe after my presentation so we can describe to you further on the incentive that has been given by the ministry on the orphan medicine regulation, so that you can also see if it is an area where you can invest in manufacturing of these needed products, but to a very smaller population. Of course, sound political support. I know my brother from TIC has explained on this one, but there is utilization of TRIPS flexibilities for manufacturers for new molecules which are still under patent, because we are still seeing a trend in manufacturing old molecules. So we are encouraging manufacturers to come up with manufacturing facilities for new molecules which are still under patent. Interest and support from international collaborators such as WHO, GIZ, but also there is an existence of EAC harmonization program which aims at improving access to medicine in the EAC region, and of course the member states are indicated here. Of course, there is Muhimbili University R&D lab, which supports also to carry out bioequivalent studies. So this is the end of my presentation, and as my concluding remarks, I really wanted to urge the people who are in this room interested in investing in manufacturing facility that TFDA has transformed, and TFDA is ready to assist so that we can see as many manufacturing facilities established in Tanzania, and of course be able to reach the vision, the development vision of 2025 as explained with Madam Honorable Minister in the morning. So with that, I thank you very much for your attention. Sise.